Hey guys, this is John with Big Bets. I'm here to give you my analysis and my prediction of Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker this Saturday night, and I'm also going to be placing a big bet at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. Okay, first I'm going to start with where I think the fight's going to take place. I think the fight is going to take place in the stand-up. I don't think it's going to go to the ground, or if it does go to the ground, I think it's not going to be too much of the fight. I don't think Dan Hooker can take down Dustin Poirier. I think Dustin Poirier may be able to take down Hooker, but with a lot of attempts, energy, and whatnot. So really where this fight's going to be determined, I believe, is going to be in the stand-up. Okay, what if the fight does take place on the ground? Who has the advantage? I believe Poirier has the advantage. I don't believe Dan Hooker can submit Poirier. If you look at his fight against Pettis, Pettis had like a triangle locked in. Poirier got out. I mean, he has great submission defense. Poirier has great submission defense. I believe he has the advantage on the ground if it does go to the ground. Poirier has the better ground game, better submission game. I don't believe Hooker can submit Poirier. Can Poirier submit Hooker? I don't know. But Poirier does have the advantage. Okay, let's start by how can Poirier win? Poirier can win in the stand-up by outstriking or knocking out Hooker. Poirier has the better striking, so if the fight goes the distance, I believe Poirier will get the decision. I don't believe Hooker can outpoint Poirier for 5 rounds, especially with Poirier's superior cardio. We saw Poirier's superior cardio when he fought Holloway. I mean, we really saw Poirier evolve in that fight. We saw him put a pace on the guy who puts a pace on everybody else and just hit hard shots throughout all 5 rounds. It was really incredible to watch. We saw Hooker's output in his last fight, where I believe he lost to Felder. I mean, I believe the only reason he really won that fight is because it was in his home country. But Felder won that fight, and we saw Hooker's output. It wasn't impressive comparatively to Poirier. So, if this fight goes to decision, Poirier's definitely taking it, I believe. Okay, how can Hooker win? I believe the only way Hooker's going to win this fight is by catching Poirier and knocking him out, or catching him, hurting him, and finishing him. I don't believe Hooker can win by decision. I believe Poirier's striking is just better, and his cardio is better, and his output is better. We look at his fight against Felder. I mean, every time Felder came forward, he was landing against Hooker. I mean, if Poirier comes forward, he's landing too, but he's landing harder. So I don't see Hooker outstriking Poirier for 5 rounds. I believe Poirier's the better polished striker, but I could definitely see Hooker catching Dustin Poirier on the way in. I don't believe Hooker can beat Poirier in a decision, and I don't believe he can submit Dustin. I do believe he can catch him and knock him out. Do I think that likelihood is very high? No, but it's a definite possibility. If Hooker knocks out Poirier, I don't think it's going to be with Hooker coming forward. I believe it's going to be with Hooker counter-striking Poirier as he tries to get on the inside. I could see him catching him with that knee in the punching range when Poirier starts to lean forward in the punching range, and I could see that knee open for Hooker to hurt Poirier or maybe even knock him out, or catching him with a counter strike on the way in. It really depends on if a lot of this fight really depends on if Hooker can create that distance to land those counter shots as Poirier is coming in. We also look at Hooker's calf kick. That calf kick could be very effective if Hooker is able to create that distance and hit Poirier with that calf kick as Poirier is leaning forward, because when you're leaning forward, all your weight goes on your front leg, and if you hit that leg with all the weight on it, it's just much more effective. Do I believe Hooker can execute that calf kick with all of Poirier's weight forward? I don't believe so, because Poirier, generally speaking, only starts leaning forward in the punching range, and he would have to create that distance very well, very efficiently, and land that strike before Poirier balances out. So my conclusion is Dustin Poirier is going to win the fight. I'm betting on Dustin Poirier minus 220 to beat Hooker. I believe Dustin Poirier can win by decision or by knockout. If you think my prediction is wrong, there's Hooker straight and Hooker finish. Hooker to win on the straight line is plus 185. Hooker to win by finish is plus 275. So if you think the odds of Hooker winning is higher than I believe they are, definitely take the bet for Hooker to win by finish, plus 275. I mean, you compare to that 185. I really don't believe Hooker can win by decision. So the difference between 185 and 275, given the circumstance, is huge. Definitely think it's a mistake to bet on Hooker on the straight line. That's why it's consistently been moving in the other direction. So if you think I'm wrong, Hooker by finish. The odds for Poirier winning is minus 220. They opened up at about 170. I mean, I believe 170, minus 170 for Poirier win is just great odds. Whoever got those, man, good for you. I mean, if you got those odds, let me know in the comments. That's awesome. You're on top of it. You're watching out for it. I'm going to go place a bet for minus 220 at the casino. I'm going to put 2,200 to win 1,000. Stay tuned for that. Okay, so that's my analysis. That's my prediction. Let me know what you think in the comments. Where I'm right, where I'm wrong. Curious to know. Alright, we're going to head to the casino now, and let's go place that bet.
I'll get that money. They said you're too broke to take any money out. You broke!
Bank's closed. We gotta go through the drive. Alright, we're about to withdraw the money to place the bet. Poirier versus Hooker. Hooker's going down. He sucks. Honestly, he's trash. Poirier's got this in the bag. 2-to-1 odds. Easy money. If you guys aren't putting a bet on this, you're crazy.
You sleeping. You sleeping.
Dude, wake up. It's easy money. It's easy money. So I'll just show you guys. I'm about to withdraw 2 G's, win a G. Honestly, I'd withdraw 20 G's, but I think I'd be a bad role model.
And we broke. And we broke. We broke. Can't see him, but he's gambling. He's got a problem. How you feeling?
Pretty good.
Go make some money?
This bet, minus 220 odds.
Alright, let me zoom that in. Can't see it. Oh, there. Oh, there it is. There it is. $22,000 bet.
Alright, the odds were minus 220. Yesterday they were minus 200. So they caught up with the online odds. So I bet 2,200. Win 1,000. Pretty good odds. Odds opened up at minus 170. So whoever got those, that's real good. So let's see what happens Saturday night, and yeah, let's go.